see with the assist per game. But she is one of those players that you want to watch. She gets the ball moving. She can score, as you see, but she wants to get her teammates. Right here, you see the big three. Liv McGill, Miara O'Neal, and Layla Reynolds are the three that this team need to step up. They account for 64% of Florida's points, but this three has to come out and be ready to play.
I mean, speaking of stepping up, this is a do-or-die game for Mississippi State, according to Charlie Cream. Right now, their net is 41. Strength of schedule 42. They have 3 excellent wins this year over Kentucky, Tennessee, and Georgia. But Charlie Cream says they must win this game to stay in the field of 68. They are coming in on a 4-game losing streak. But like every SEC team, I mean, the caliber of competition is unmatched in the SEC. So it is a brand new start for them, and they are going to be relying heavily on Madison Francis, one of the top freshmen in the SEC. Francis, 80 blocks this season. That leads not just SEC freshmen, all freshmen in the country. And Tamika, she has been a joy to watch on the defensive end.
Well, she's been a joy to watch on the defensive end, but offensive end as well. Mississippi State really needs her to step up. They need her to have a good game, but they got some other weapons on this team, so it'll be good to see how they all evolve.
Our starting lineups today. No real changes for either program. Nothing shocking here. I think as Steffi was pointing out earlier, this game comes down to heart. ESPN Analytics basically says it's a 50-50 toss-up. Now, Florida seems to always produce some magic in the SEC tournament. They have won 4 of their last 5 SEC openers, and if Kelly Rae Finley can get her team a couple of wins here in the tournament, who knows what could happen in terms of their postseason chances. Sam Purcell on the left, such a dynamic personality, and both these coaches are just 2 quality human beings and do a great job leading their players, not only on the basketball court, but in life.
But I like the positivity. We were at practices yesterday and got a chance to watch the team come out, get the feel. This is a new court here at the SEC tournament, so just getting up and down, getting some shots, and talking to the coaches. They are both very motivated, excited about this opportunity, and of course, Sam Purcell giving us the sale for Mississippi State and all the things that they were able to do this season, and Florida having the opportunity to talk to Kelly Rae Finley.
Well, I don't know if you ever lost 4 games in a row in your career, but how do you hit that reset button if you're Mississippi State?
You got to get on to the next, and you can't worry about the past. As we go into the SEC tournament, everybody walks in 0-0. It doesn't matter. Standings have been set. Games have been set. You just got to win. You win or you go home.
Florida has been playing better and better as we got toward the end of the SEC regular season. This is probably the most anticipated matchup on day 1, and we are underway. Liv McGill will run the Florida offense to begin the game. McGill, first team All-SEC performer, number 23. Wonder if she has the Jordan gene, according to Steffi Sorensen.
Yeah, I like that, Steffi. That was good. Jordan gene. I think Liv McGill has it.
DeZecco comes down the lane and scores, and Florida's on the board first. DeZecco from Switzerland, a grad student. Overall, though, this Florida team, a young team. Future looks bright for Kelly Rae Finley. Francis, her first touch, turns it over. Piatti, the Italian, grabs it.
Well, you can already tell what they're going to do. Madison Francis catches the ball. They got double coverage on her.
Good hustle by McGill. Got her miss. And Miara O'Neal misses her three-point attempt, but she's opened a lot of games this year, making threes to start the game. Nice look inside. And the finish by Wadozie.
Yeah, good look. Prater to Wadozie.
Wadozie averaging a double-double this season. McGill gets loose, finds Piatti. Three is short, but McGill is there for the finish. Got the O board as well.
Yeah, McGill already with 2 offensive rebounds, and you've seen how active she's been in the last 2 offensive possessions.
Liv McGill is such a cerebral player as well. She is just what you want in a point guard. Francis powers it up, gets her miss. And Crisp, a real X factor for Mississippi State. And the Bulldogs can't come away with a bucket there, but they'll get the ball right back after a Florida turnover.
I think Liv trying to get the ball up fast, up the court. See, McGill, nobody's even around her to box her out and go straight up for two. Talk about being in the right place at the right time.
It was her 649th point of the season. That's a single season scoring record for Florida. Had already broken that record coming into the tournament. Crisp switched. Good switch by the Gators. Prater blocked by McGill. And it actually goes off of Prater, so Florida's going to get it back off that heads-up D from McGill.
Well, she timed it just right. You see, stays in, the ball in front of her face. An easy look just to be able to swipe that.
Layla Reynolds, and Reynolds draws the foul on the way to the bucket. So Layla Reynolds will go to the free throw line, and it is good for Florida to get her going early.
Well, definitely. She's one of those pieces that you have to have. Liv McGill's ball's in her hands more, so she's able to make those plays. I think with Reynolds, sometimes she gets stuck in the offense. So if you can get her active early and get her confidence and moving toward the basket, I think that's all good.
Foul was on Richardson. Reynolds makes the free throw. Reynolds, in her junior season, has just steadily gotten better under Kelly Rae Finley.
Well, it's been fun to watch her, too. I feel like when she came in her first year, she's just trying to figure it out, right? Sophomore year, she's got more confidence. Team started relying on her a little bit more, and now she's part of that big three with the Gators, and definitely has stepped up and done some big things. Reynolds
has been on the SEC community service team, a smile that lights up any room.
Now look at this defense. Florida trying to get in the grill. Mississippi State make every single pass hard. Liv McGill all over her.
Chris finally picks up that dribble. Shot clock is under 10. And that lob inside goes off the rim. It's fun to watch McGill because she's not only moving her feet to make it, she's moving her hands without fouling.
Well, you watch her eyes, and that's a sign for defense. You watch the middle of the body. You don't watch where the ball up and down. Her eyes are right there. She knows when to swipe up, swipe down for the rebound.
Nice entry pass to O'Neal, and the and one as a result. Give Reynolds the assist.
Check out O'Neal. She does her work early. Even coming over, goes right at Madison Francis. And I love the energy right there.
It's fun this time of year to talk about the most improved players from last year to this year. And Miara O'Neal certainly would be in that conversation. Really has transformed her game, transformed her body, transformed her mind, just made a lot of adjustments in the offseason and has had a fantastic season.
Well, with that comes confidence, and the confidence of knowing that, hey, I can take this shot, I can make this shot. Not just take the shot, but make the shot and make the plays, and that's what we've seen.
We asked Liv McGill about Miara yesterday, and she almost started crying that O'Neal has inspired her so much this season. Third turnover on Mississippi State. We'll give it back to the Gators.
Destiny McFall, number 2, comes in the game, and she's been the prime ball handler for this Mississippi State team. Coach Purcell said yesterday, we're going to start with a different lineup today and try to bring her in off the bench. Also gives her an opportunity to see what's going on.
O'Neal catches, shoots. And our lead official, Eric Bruton, making the call on the floor on that rebound. And the foul's going to be on Prater. That's her first. It'll be Florida's ball. Sam Purcell in his 4th season.
Looks like Mississippi State playing a little bit of a zone right here.
Mississippi State, according to Charlie Cream, must win this game to stay in the NCAA tournament. Nice look down the floor, and the finish by McFall.
A good heads-up play. Turn your defense, make your defense your offense. They got the steal with the finish.
And they've been trying to break McFall out of a little bit of a slump, so I've experimented with bringing her in off the bench, as you mentioned earlier. That's a good sign for Mississippi State. Reynolds, that was a high 3. And then O'Neal gets fouled going back up.
Now here we go. Let's take another look at this transition pass. And good heads-up play. Chris finds McFall running down. That's perfect. Right on the money. No dribble, straight up.
Foul is on with Dozie, and it puts O'Neal back on the free throw line. That's already the 4th team foul against Mississippi State, so Florida's in the bonus now for the rest of the quarter.
And Mississippi State having trouble boxing out this Florida Gator team, so that's what you've seen.
How much influence do you think Shaq had on her free throw shooting?
That's I know he's watching, so I got to be nice.
Well, that's one thing she does better than Dad. Nice looking free throws by Miara O'Neal.
I say this, though. I mean, when you watch her game, Shaq was more around the basket, right?
Yeah.
Get you dunk in the paint. She's able to stretch the floor a little bit more and able to do a lot of different things. So different bodies, different players, different times.
And she's making the most of her talent right now. McGill. Blocked by Francis. Again, she's the leading shot blocker in the nation among Division I freshmen. That won't go down for Godfrey. And time has been called, a player down for Mississippi State. Crisp is down for the Bulldogs.
At the hustle play, 2 players going for the ball.
So both teams being sent back to their coaches. See if we can figure out what happened. Number 4 in black, Treyana Crisp. Just a collision there. And that back leg comes across. Crisp, one of their best players this season, 9 points a game, 4 assists per game, a real playmaker for them.
And she's one of those players, she does a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So it's not just about the points and the rebounds, but she's active. You see loose ball play, diving on the floor, trying to get extra possession for her team.
So good to see her standing up. Crisp transferred in from Arizona State. And now we'll head back to the locker room.
And the thing you have to be careful of, too, is right now, concussions, right?
Yeah.
Concussion protocol, and following all the right things to make sure that you keep the players safe.
So Alafane into the game now, number 8 in black for Mississippi State. With Dozie trying to work her way to the basket. I tell you, the Florida defense is locked in here to start.
Yeah, they're trying to make Mississippi State play a little bit faster than they're used to playing, and that's the result of the turnovers.
4 turnovers in the last 5 possessions for Mississippi State. Kelly Ray Finley trying to get her team in the postseason. She's taken her team to the postseason every year she's been the head coach, whether it be the WBIT or the NCAAs. Right now they are 17-14 overall, at a 5-11 record in the SEC. Kick by Mississippi State. Miara O'Neal, Shaq's daughter, having a very good start to this game. O'Neal already with 4 points and a rebound. Dad is clowning around on the set. His daughter's been working hard. Huge improvement from last year to this season. And Florida scores right away on that inbounds play. Layla Reynolds getting the layup.
It's been fun to watch Miara's progress over the course of years. And I can only imagine what life for her was. Shaq in the house. And he's always joking about something.
McGill leading the break, and the Gators are chomping right now. A 10-point lead here in the opening quarter. They get it into Widozi. Widozi is having a tough time. That's what Sam Purcell said. They've been struggling to make shots. The shots are there. They're just not going in right now.
I think right now, Mississippi State, they just got to settle down. They're trying to make a lot of plays. Of course, that was a missed layup the last possession, but a lot of individual plays. That's the play you need to make. Get the ball to Madison Francis, get her going, and then everything else will even itself out.
So Francis draws the foul and will go to the free throw line. Here it is one more time.
Yep. Great patience. Didn't try to make a play happen too fast, and got the foul called.
Fouls on Weathersby, her first. Francis, very sought-after recruit. And when she was visiting Starkville on her final recruiting visit, she said, "Coach, I got to pray about this decision." So she headed up to Michigan on a recruiting trip, and she kept seeing road signs. It said, 1-800-CALL-SAM. And she's like, "I think this is a sign.
Call Sam."
So she called Sam Purcell and said, "You know what? I think God's telling me to go to Mississippi State." So Sam Purcell, that was actually an ad for an attorney up there. I said, "Is that your attorney now?" He said, "No, but it should be." Good block by Francis. A reminder of our Sunday softball triple header on SEC Network. Texas and South Carolina, noon Eastern, Tennessee and LSU. And then the final game, it's the second game of three-game series between Missouri and Florida. Did you have a sign that told you to go to Tennessee?
Yeah, I had a sign when I was in 8th grade. I saw the orange and I was hooked.
You were hooked on the orange, huh?
I was hooked on the orange. I was hooked on the crazy lady on the side, Coach Pat Summitt, and after that, and just being able to watch that evolve.
It is fun to talk to players about how they make their decisions to go to each school. That was the first time I've heard of a 1-800-CALL-SAM. It's a good one. Right now,
we thought that she was joking, and it's like, no, that's a real story.
Yeah, that was her answer to prayer.
Like right drive on the fall.
Weathersby powers her way to the basket. No foul called, and it'll be Mississippi State's ball.
And Madison Francis also made the all-defensive team, and you see just staying in front of the players, the hands straight up, they're able to make a great defensive play.
Nitty Yitch coming into the game. Yitch has been coming on lately. Double figures in 2 of her last 3 games. She was the leading scorer against Georgia last weekend. It's the first time this season that one of the big 3 we mentioned in the open had not been the leading scorer for the Gators. And the turnovers continue to hurt Mississippi State. That's number 7.
Mississippi State going too fast, but you got to give credit to this Florida defense. They are pressing 94 feet, making it hard for them to get the ball in, Mississippi State to get the ball in, let alone to run an offense.
Gators haven't made a 3, haven't needed to. Yitch. Oh, nice D by Richardson. Yeah. Swatted that pass away.
And look at Clarissa Richardson. She wants the ball. She's posting up down low.
Fane. And a battle going on in the paint. Foul on the Gators. I think they're going to get Reynolds. Zecco up off the bench.
Yeah, Clarissa Richardson down low, trying to go for the rebound after that. Reynolds knew she was a little outmatched and tried to put her body on a little bit too late.
Francis will inbound it. Turnovers, big story for both teams here in the first quarter. Gators have turned it over 3 times in a row. Again, we knew this would be a really good matchup, but right now the Gators getting the better of this first quarter. Shot clock about to expire. Francis got it off, missed it.
Good defense by Liv McGill.
Nice pass. And Ezekiel draws the foul, doesn't get the bucket, but Gift Ezekiel will hop back up and will be at the free throw line.
And see how when Liv McGill came off that screen, 2 defenders went with her and left Ezekiel wide open, going straight to the basket. Mississippi State confused on the defensive rotation. Sometimes they're switching, sometimes they're not. And at this point in the game, you got to make sure that at least you're on the same page.
Foul is on Sanaya King. Gift Ezekiel from Nigeria. A couple of free throws for Ezekiel, and that pushes the Florida lead back up to 9.
Here you go, the full court press by Florida. Mississippi State trying to get some relief.
Good to see Crisp back in the game. We saw her go out earlier with an injury. She's back in the game, and with Dozie also returning.
Now this is the big lineup right here for Mississippi State. See, Francis will go and be the 3 between her and Richardson.
And Francis had 2 players on her on that inbounds play. They get it to Richardson. Richardson doesn't get the shot to go down. McGill attacks the basket. Boy, she's fast.
She puts her head down, you know it's a wrap. McGill is going straight to the basket.
Second foul on Francis. That is concerning for Mississippi State. Fane will send Francis to the bench. And Liv McGill, double figures in all but 1 game this season. That was the last game against Georgia.
But even with that, 8 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists, and 2 steals.
It's fun to talk to Liv McGill. She said when she was out earlier this season, really gave her a chance to study her teammates' tendencies, try to find out where they like to receive the basketball as the point guard. She is very much a student of the game, just a brilliant conversationalist. I love talking basketball with Liv McGill.
I love talking just even what makes you shine, what makes you who you are, and how did that evolve and roll into the team. And you're right, talking basketball, but also just talking like you. How did you get better? How do you make this team tick?
Foul on Yitch for the Gators. That's her first. So another inbounds play here for Mississippi State. Both teams have struggled to put the ball in the basket in this half. We've only seen 8 made shots between the 2. First quarter with Dozie. Draws another foul. We are seeing a lot of fouls.
We are seeing fouls, and I like Mississippi State. That focus was getting the ball down low. You got 4 Florida defenders that collapsed. Dozie.
Yitch, second foul. And Dozie will go to the line as Mississippi State in the bonus. Dozie, also from Nigeria. Dozie was selected to go to Japan as a part of an exchange program, played high school and some college basketball in Japan.
I think being able to get that experience, and we always talk about it, even for some of our athletes that get to go and be a part of their, whether the USA team or whatever country they're representing, you get more reps and you get more opportunity.
This was her at Mukagawa Women's University in Japan. Her standing reach is 8 feet 6 inches. Her wingspan is almost 6 feet 9 inches across. She stands at 6'3".
How tall are you, Sam?
Depends on the day.
You're right. It depends on what shoes you have on.
All right, you got me. Turnover. O'Neal unable to hang on to this.
Nice block. O'Neal had the heads-up play. She was trying to save the ball. She just didn't realize she was out of bounds already.
Another block by Dozie. Good shot blocking by the Bulldogs here in this first quarter. That's one thing they've done well. At the scoreboard, offensive foul.
Offensive foul on Dozie.
That was away from the ball. Dozie commits the foul. That is a team foul number 8 in this first quarter.
Dozie, great job. She's trying to set the screen. She didn't wait for the defender to get by and rolls right into the...
That's actually the 8th turnover on Mississippi State in this first quarter.
That's interesting. We've already seen quite a bit of substitution from both teams, and realizing that as you advance, you have to conserve some of the energy. You want to make sure that you start off. Yes, you want to win the game, but you also have to conserve some energy.
Worked out well for Kenny Brooks in Kentucky in our first game. DeZecco knocks down the three from the corner, and that is the first made three of the game for the Gators. Back on the other end, Richardson catches the Gators defense asleep.
Richardson knew she was going to the basket. Florida might have celebrated a little bit too much.
10-point lead for Florida as we get ready to close out the first quarter in what is a must-win game for Mississippi State, according to Charlie Cream, to keep their NCAA tournament hopes alive. Gators ended their regular season with a loss at Georgia on Sunday. They beat this Mississippi State team in Starkville earlier this year. Florida also with a win over Ole Miss. That was their first ranked win of the season. Final seconds of the opening quarter, game number 2 here at the SEC tournament. McFall. McGill grabs it. Can she get a shot off? Yes, but it comes up short. So the Florida Gators chomping their way to a 10-point lead after we played our first 10 minutes of play. Gators up 21-11.
When you have 5 players in double digits, 3 players had double-double. Kentucky advancing to tomorrow's game. Get an opportunity to see them against Georgia.
So how about this game, Tamika? What would you like to see more of from Mississippi State?
Well, Mississippi State, they've tried to settle in a little bit more. Got to take care of the ball. They got to knock down shots. I know that's something that we heard Coach Purcell, and it starts right there with Madison Francis driving to the basket.
Yeah, you said to me during the break you didn't think they could leave Francis on the bench much longer. She's got 2 fouls, and Sam Purcell bringing her out right away at the start of the second quarter, and it pays dividends.
Well, he needs her to be on the floor along with the other players. She just steadies when you know you have that player, and she is that player for this team. She got to make sure she plays smart so that she can stay in the game.
Mississippi State had 9 turnovers in that first quarter. The Gators had 9 points off those turnovers. McGill's 3 is off the mark. Good rebound by Ezekiel. And an offensive foul called against the Gators. Away from the ball. That was on DeZecco.
You look at Francis. She has gone through a beating this year. And here's another look at that. Yeah, Zico pushes her body out on the left side and clips Francis.
Crisp off the mark on the 3. Good offensive rebound. Richardson. And again, Mississippi State just really struggling to get that ball through the net.
Well, you hope that it's just a small period of the game and that it's not something that will go on for the whole 40 minutes. But they're getting good looks. They're getting opportunities. You don't want to sound like a broken record. They're getting the opportunities. They're just not falling. They got to figure out how to get the ball through the net.
Gators led by 10 at the end of the first quarter. First time this year they've led by double digits at the end of a quarter. At least that in SEC play. Oh, O'Neal, yes, it was a 3.
I like the confidence that she stepped out, able to knock down that shot and didn't even hesitate.
O'Neal, 36% three-point shooter this year. Pushes the lead back up to 11. Wadozie catches the entry pass. Doesn't go down. Luke Reynolds on the move.
This is what I mean, slowing down. Mississippi State going way too fast on the offensive end. But talk about going fast. Liv McGill, always going fast. Let's go.
She just looked at you and said, let's go, Tamika.
Let's go. Game time. And I love the energy, the emotion. You look at the Gator team, they are ready to play. Liv McGill, always ready. Talked about the electric. The electric is in the building. Let's go! You heard her. Always ready.
Yeah.
Energy to start, huh? Okay, and there's no question that Florida's energy is way off the charts, and Mississippi State needs to find a way to match that energy right now.
How cool was it when Liv McGill flexed on you? It's pretty cool when she said, Kamika!
You know I'm ready, Steffi. You know I'm always ready. Put me in, coach.
She hasn't stopped smiling. Nice bucket by Mississippi State. McFall scoring right out of the timeout. That's what they need, buckets.
They need buckets. They need to stay under control. The energy that the Florida Gators are playing with right now, you either have to match it or you have to temper yourself with your team, and that's what they got to do.
Second three of the game by O'Neal.
O'Neal, first player in double digits now with 10 points, and said this last time she hit the three, but I love that she's looking for that shot first off and that she's just stepping in with confidence.
Yeah, two of her three made shots are threes. And a travel on Richardson as she tried to take the drive. Here's that last three.
Well, Taylor, look, the ball rotates. Liv McGill has it. Nobody stepped out. You see the zone got stretched to the outside and it left O'Neal wide open.
Good D by Francis, disrupted McGill.
And if that fouled on Francis, that's going to be her third foul.
Yes, it is. So Francis D'ing up Liv McGill. Gets called for the foul, her third. And Sam Purcell will take her out of the game. Sanaya King will replace her.
Well, you got to be smart when you have two fouls and your coach is relying on you. And you see right there, she does get in the body of McGill. You got to be smart.
Weathersby knocks down a three. And suddenly the threes are raining for the Gators. And they've made their last 4 shots overall.
Looks like that's going to be a foul on Dzeko.
Yeah, Gator foul. Coming up off the bench is Godfrey, and Dzeko will go off the floor now, as that's the second foul on Dzeko.
She's trying to fight over the screen, which you appreciate from a coaching standpoint, but you got to push up a little bit to allow yourself more space to get around that screen.
11-2 run right now being enjoyed by the Florida Gators. They built their 10-point lead at the end of the first quarter to a 17-point lead now. Richardson, strong take and one. Foul on McGill.
I tell you, Richardson's not going out like that. She is going to do whatever it takes, and love just even talking to her yesterday, just the emotion of going into SEC tournament, what it means for her having this opportunity. Been a journey.
Third school for Richardson. She's nearly doubled her scoring average in SEC play. Fane, yes! And that is the first three of the game for the Bulldogs of Mississippi State.
And that might be a little inspiration for this team to get them going.
Fane, 13 of her 23 made shots this year have been threes. McGill short, another chance for Mississippi State. And a foul in the backcourt as King got hit by McGill as she was throwing that pass. So that's the second foul on McGill, and they've all come within the last minute.
Yeah, and you could tell that was more of a frustration foul, trying to get the ball back.
Fourth team foul on the Gators. And not sure why they've stopped playing right now. Officials are trying to get both teams back on the floor. Just decided they wanted to take a little breather.
I think everybody did. Or maybe they thought they were going to review the hit in the face.
It's intense. It's just a hit in the face. Come on, the SEC, Tamika. Come on. Fane just hit that three, number 8 in black for Mississippi State. They need more of those. Remember Francis on the bench for the Bulldogs. And a travel by number 22, Natalia Gray.
We've seen a couple of plays from Mississippi State. This is where you talk about Florida speeding up the offense. The defense is forcing them to try to make quick moves. Almost like when the game gets fast, you got to slow it down.
Godfrey gets fouled by Wadozie. And a reminder, next Thursday right here on SEC Network and the ESPN app, we'll have our next SEC Inside, and it'll be an all-access pass to this event, the SEC Women's Basketball Tournament, 6 Eastern, 5 Central. You get a never-before-seen footage, sound from players, coaches. It's a real behind-the-scenes look. Third foul on Wadozie.
That's the first opportunity to get to see number 85, Melissa Guillet.
Guillet, a player that was added mid-season from France, number 85 there in black. Still getting used to the United States, learning English, learning this style of basketball. It's been a real learning experience for Guillet so far. They expect a big future from her.
And I will say this, the fact that you get an opportunity to be one of those players to come off the bench in a tournament like this says a lot. So I agree with you, Sam. Big things in the making for this young lady.
McGill grabs another rebound. Gray is playing her hard. Richardson switches out on McGill. Ezekiel forces it up and in. I didn't see that coming.
I didn't either, but I like the move. I like the patience. Nice little up and under, goes out. And a nice finish.
Gators up 14, Fauné. Yes, that is pure. Kelly Rae Finley slammed her hands down when Fauné buried that shot.
Oh, you need some good looks, and Fauné, that's a good one for her. Coming off the screen, nobody in front. That's where Kelly Rae Finley is upset, because nobody switched out.
So we will step aside. Gators up 12, second quarter.
Gotta love, eyes down, come off the screen, nobody up. Fauné buries it for 2 for Mississippi State. Much needed basket.
That was the last score before the timeout. Reynolds tripped on the way to the basket by Guillet. Here's Kelly Rae Finley's reaction after that shot went in.
Talking about the screen, she gets mad, boom. Maybe she just get ready for a defensive stance.
Kelly Rae Finley in her 4th season, again, has taken her Gator teams to the postseason every year. And you know, every player that's graduated from Florida that's played for Kelly Rae Finley, they've played at the pro level in some sort, whether it's WNBA or internationally. So she certainly has been developing pro players since she arrived.
And if you talk to the players and you can even look at their bench, they seem like they want to be there. They want to get better. And that's one thing you'll say about Kelly Rae Finley and her teams is players get better. They enjoy the process, even through the highs and the lows. She has always stayed positive.
Have a great staff at Florida in terms of assistants as well. McGill working her magic and draws the foul. And we'll go to the free throw line. Gray has been defending her tough, but this time commits the foul. And so Liv McGill will go to the free throw line. Now one of 10 finalists for the Nancy Lieberman Point Guard of the Year award.
I think it's really important. You know McGill is going to continue to push pace, try to get to the basket, try to get some of those open looks. That's one thing you know about her. I think for Mississippi State, they've been doing a lot of fouling this half. So just trying to pace yourself a little bit more and play without fouling.
McGill again has set a single season scoring record this year for Florida. Makes 1 of 2. And McGill now up to 9 points this afternoon. So we get ready to play the final 3:41 of this first half. Charlie Cream says it is a must-win game for Mississippi State to stay in contention for the NCAA tournament. They've been on the bubble for several weeks. Richardson.
Hey, Richardson with the one dribble pull-up. Trying to get the mid-range game going.
O'Neal to Piatti, back to Reynolds. Reynolds attacks and scores with the left hand.
That is what Reynolds does so good. Sees the open space and she's gonna attack.
McFall trying to set it up for Mississippi State. Remember, Francis is on the bench with 3 fouls for Mississippi State. Gray, the freshman, that's off the mark. And a foul on the rebound.
Gonna be on Layla. Layla, she got 2 fouls. We're gonna take another look at this. Look at the ball. Move, move, move. Find the open players. See the opening right through the open area.
3rd foul on Reynolds. She will sit down. So under 3 to play here in the first half. Gray is at the free throw line now. A freshman from Houston, Texas. One of those freshmen that Sam Purcell very high on. Has been overshadowed a bit this year by Madison Francis. But a big upside for her. She's 6'3" and has steadily gotten better.
I think Mississippi State, and we keep saying this, but they got to get the ball to fall down, get in the basket. I like trying to push some more pressure on this Gator team, not allow any easy shots.
3 on the way. All but 6 of Mississippi State's points have been in the paint so far. And Richardson, blocking foul against the Gators. And that's DeZecco committing the foul. That'll be her 3rd foul.
Well, you can see Mississippi State kind of fall apart. A little frustration. Richardson gets a chance to go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Gray's a little upset that she didn't get the ball in that opportunity.
Coach Purcell having a chat with his freshman, Gray. Richardson at the free throw line, knocks down the first one.
I say that's a teaching moment, because I think sometimes you get in these games and the energy is so high, you want to make plays happen, but at the same time, this is a game, a team game, so trying to make sure that you play within the flow of the team. No matter through the highs and the lows, you've got to stay together.
It's a lane violation, so that free throw did not count for Mississippi State. Sort of been that kind of half so far for the Bulldogs. They just had a tough time sustaining momentum. Still have 1 half to go, though. And McGill plowing her way through the lane, gets fouled by number 2, Destiny McFall. And so McGill's going to go back to the free throw line. McGill averaging 22 points a game, 1st team All-SEC selection this year. You got to talk to her for a while yesterday. Tamika, what's your takeaways?
Well, I love just the conversation, and one thing we talked about is her, like what had been her involvement this past season, and she said, and you mentioned it earlier, just having to be out. She was out early on in the season, but really trying to get more maturity and basketball IQ, learn her teammates, and she couldn't be on the floor, but really just studying the game. And I would say that even their SID, John Maxwell, he made the comment, he said, you know, there's players that get hurt and they sit on the sideline, or they're in the gym, or they're there, but they're not really engaged. He said she was engaged, she was coaching, she was doing a lot of different things to make sure that her team was better.
3rd foul on McGill. Yeah, they did something interesting. Kelly Ray Finley actually had her coach a team against Kelly Ray Finley's team in a practice scrimmage.
We said, who won? And she said, if I recall. So we'll have to go back and find out the real. She said she won, but we'll just have to confirm.
I mean, I think that's pretty brilliant to have your point guard actually coach 5 of the players in a scrimmage.
Yeah.
Fane at the free throw line. knocks down the first and gets the second.
Fane has been a bright spot for Mississippi State. Now it's 7 points.
And Fane only averaging 3 a game. Remember, though, Francis has been on the bench a lot with 3 fouls. Pass down to Prater, back to Fane. "14-point lead for the Gators. O'Neal with the bump and shoot gets the finish.
You talked about it, just the work in the offseason and how much she has improved from last season to this season. The control of her body going up strong for the finish.
Changed her diet, changed her work ethic, changed her mentality. Nice 3 by McFall.
Mississippi State, McFall, you said she's been struggling a little bit on the offensive end, but I think that's so important for her to get her shot going.
Kelly Ray Finley calling a timeout. Good timeout as her player was in trouble. Little conference there between Kelly Ray Finley and Mariara O'Neal. This is our second game of the day, first day of the SEC Women's Basketball Tournament. Kentucky, wow, what an impressive start. The Wildcats defeating Arkansas by 30 points. They had 3 players achieve double-doubles. That's the first time that's happened since 2015. And they get a rematch with Georgia tomorrow, who beat them in Lexington just before Winter Storm Fern hit. And these Wildcats get a little pizza and checking this game out.
Checking the game out, go back, get a little film, get some rest, because I have a feeling that tomorrow we're going to be getting up and down quite a bit.
Florida's been taking advantage of the turnovers. Scored 14 points off Mississippi State turnovers. Final minute of the half. That is a 3 by O'Neal. Her third 3-pointer.
All right, O'Neal's ready to play today.
McFall answers on the other end. McFall, 9 points here in this first half. O'Neal faces Richardson, now turns her back to the bucket. Yitch backs it out. About a 3-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Yitch draws the foul with 9.5 seconds left in the half. Let's go back to that O'Neal 3, Tamika.
Yeah, take a look at this. Really no screen set, but 2 defenders. Chris comes out. The back rotation didn't come, and she actually got fouled on the 3, so that could have been an and 1 from the 3, but what a great finish. O'Neal's ready.
O'Neal heading to the bench, 15 points, 4 rebounds. Yitch at the free throw line now. And Yitch has been a big story for Florida lately. Again, double figures in 2 of her last 3 games. She only averages 6 points per game. Had 14 against Georgia on Sunday. That was the leading scorer for the Gators. And now makes a couple of free throws here. Bulldogs trying to score before the half ends. Richardson. And the 3 goes in and out. A very impressive half by the Florida Gators on both ends of the floor. Liv McGill ready for the third quarter. It's been a big day for the Stars for Florida. Mariara O'Neal, 15 points, 4 rebounds. Liv McGill, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. And the Gators chomping their way to a 16-point lead. Hey, everybody, Sam Gore along with Hall of Famer Tamika Catchings. First half was all Florida, but they did a good job of exposing some holes in the Mississippi State defense.
Well, Mississippi State tried to go from man-to-man and put in a little zone defense, and Florida did a great job of being patient. You see right here, nice movement. Didn't take anything, took what the defense gave them, moved the ball from one side of the floor to the other side of the floor, allowed O'Neal the shot. Then you take this second one. Once again, you find the gap. Liv McGill going to attack straight down the middle. Last play right here, another one. No rotation to the wide open O'Neal. That's her second 3-pointer. She had ended up with 3 in the first half.
A big performance for those 2. as they've almost outscored Mississippi State on their own. Headline here, Mississippi State, according to Charlie Crean, must win this game to stay in the NCAA tournament. Francis, their star, back on the floor, number 40 in black, but she has 3 fouls. McGill, with the ball now, has 3 fouls for Florida. First time this year, she's gotten 3 fouls and a half. Piatti, the Italian.
Piatti, good job catching the ball, going up strong. It all started with another second chance opportunity for Florida.
Piatti from Scandiano, Italy. Wadozzi powers it up and in over O'Neal. Good start for the Bulldogs.
Well, I think it's important, be interesting. I'm with the coaches up on the stand. I wonder what was said at halftime, and O'Neal continued to let it rain threes. That is her 4th 3 of the afternoon.
4 of 6 behind the three-point line for Miara O'Neal. That ties her career high for most threes in a game. Wadozzi going to work again. Fane, boy, what a game Fane's had.
Yeah, I would say, I wrote this down at the half. Fane has been the bright spot for Mississippi State. When you get in the game, you just do what you need to do to help this team, and you've seen her. She's been inside, outside, got a couple boards, all the small things.
Good defense by McFall to tie up Dzeko. And the possession arrow will give it to Mississippi State.
All right, talk about miscommunication, and here you go again. Richardson way too low to be able to get out to defend O'Neal. O'Neal right now has the hot hand. You got to make sure you're a lot closer.
O'Neal, the three-point specialist today. 4 threes. The rest of her team has 2. Fane, blocked by Piatti, right to McGill. Florida has numbers.
And McGill, great job not fouling. Continues, not only do you not foul, you bring it down. Get right into your flow offensively.
McGill seems to have an extra gear. Foul on Yitch as Francis takes it to the bucket.
Yeah, look at this block right here. Piatti, right place, right time. Straight into the offense. Defense, best defense is getting the block and then going. The best offense is your defense. And we saw that happen.
Just had the 3rd foul on Yitch. McGill getting a little rest there with her hands on her knees. 13 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. She has had a triple-double in a Gator uniform. She's done it twice. Francis on the free throw line.
Good to see Francis. Mississippi State has to figure out a way to continue to get her going. The 6th point. Hasn't really shot the ball a lot, but also there's been a lot of turnovers for the Mississippi State team.
And Francis hasn't been on the floor as much as they'd like because of the fouls. Francis on the SEC all-freshman team and SEC all-defensive team. McGill saw an opening, kicks it on the wing. In and out. Piatti with the offensive rebound. Gets stuck under the basket. And 3 seconds called on Piatti.
The double team came fast, and I know for Piatti not wanting to get a turnover, almost the safest bet against Mississippi State is to either get that 3-second or get the ball out of bounds, so you have to reset your defense.
Francis squares up on Weathersby. Good.
I think everybody's going to get a chance to see what type of player Madison Francis is. You can tell right now she is trying to do whatever it takes to get her team where it needs to be.
And Francis, again, who is one of the best shot blockers in the country, goes up to block that shot. And see if that's a foul called. It is going to be the 4th foul on Francis.
Yeah, Purcell definitely did not like that call. See right there, that gives her 4 fouls, and you got to figure out. I mean, it's still earlier in the 3rd quarter. You can't necessarily keep her on the floor.
That's tough for Mississippi State. It's good news for Florida. O'Neal back on the free throw line. O'Neal 2 for 3 from the line today.
O'Neal 18 points.
You know, we talked a lot about Her being Shaq's daughter, she apparently has his entrepreneurial gene because she's got her own clothing line now.
Yeah, I mean,
developing her own line of clothing. It's baggy urban wear. It's called Unseen.
I like that.
Isn't that funny?
What I like, though, too, is what this era, I feel like even basketball, you talk about a lot of the young ladies starting their own businesses.
Yeah.
And even throughout the SEC, we got bakers, we got cookers, we got clothing lines, we got a little bit of everything, right? We got nurses, doctors, all of that. So it's fun to be able to hear the stories off the court.
Prater, mid-range jumper doesn't go down. EA did a good job to keep it alive, and then the whistle blows, and a foul against Florida.
You see the foul right there. Good hustle from both teams. Oh, yeah, right.
Second foul on Gift Ezekiel. Fane trying to get around Reynolds. Found an opening. McGill. Piatti is open for three. And contact inside with Dozie gets called for the offensive foul, sending Ezekiel to the floor. And for Wadozie, her fourth foul. And a reminder, Sunday gymnastics on SEC Network. It's one of the great rivalries in gymnastics, LSU and Florida. It'll be at the O-Dome. Coverage will begin at 6 Eastern right here on SEC Network and the ESPN app.
We saw Wadozie take a seat on the bench. You got two key players for this Mississippi State team back to side by side. Francis with 4, Wadozie with 4. That was a hard play.
Those two combined average 26 points per game. So that is the bulk of Mississippi State's scoring this season. Sitting on the bench right now in foul trouble.
Right now they both combined have 14 points.
It'll stay on this end. Guillet, again, the late addition to the roster this season, coming from France.
One thing I want to see from Mississippi State, I want them to continue to fight. You're not out of this game. Think one possession at a time, and that's one thing you always have to think about is you can only get 2 or 3 points at a time unless you get the and one. And Richardson answers the call.
I like the way they've come out here in the third quarter. Playing with a little more sense of urgency. Again, Charlie Cream thinks they need to win this game to stay in the NCAA tournament. Selection Sunday in a couple of weeks. Godfrey draws the foul and will go to the line.
Mississippi State moving their feet. They have not been able defensively to move their feet. Florida, on the other hand, they've done a great job of just attacking them. When you get the defense from one side to the other side, it's already hard to guard. But then when you add the attack mode, that's where Mississippi State has been getting in trouble.
Fane committed the foul. Godfrey at the free throw line now. Godfrey, senior from Columbus, Ohio. Godfrey actually spent some time at Mississippi State and TCU.
Let's see the Mississippi State can put together from an offensive end. They need to make sure that they're attacking. I see Madison Francis going to the desk to check in.
Prater got away from Godfrey and made the bucket. Yeah, Francis at the scorer's table. Will come in at the next dead ball with 4 fouls. McGill trying to get around Crisp. Wow. Gators don't get a bucket out of that possession. A chance for Mississippi State. Crisp gets stopped. Open in the corner is Fane. Good block out by Godfrey.
I think for Mississippi State, we got to see a little bit more ball movement. Florida doing a good job of moving the ball, but not only moving the ball, attacking the basket. And want to see that for Mississippi State.
Florida hasn't scored in over 3 minutes. Both coaches know there are postseason implications in this one. The battle continues from Greenville. Part of the NCAA tournament, Charlie Crean says right now they're a last 4 in. Their big wins this season over Kentucky, Tennessee, and Georgia. They played LSU close on Sunday on Senior Day in Starkville, but he feels like they have to win this game to stay in the NCAA tournament without a lot of help from a lot of other teams.
And I think that's fair. Mississippi State played her with the turnover to McGill, but I would say it's fair to say that Mississippi State really has struggled the last couple of games, and Florida just continues to pile it on.
That's a big power move by Yitch. Yitch gets the block. Francis picks it up. Remember, Francis playing with 4 fouls, is fouled. And Francis will go to the free throw line for 2 shots.
Francis has to be smart about how she plays. And reminder, we are only in the third quarter, so she's playing with 4 fouls in the third quarter.
Francis, as expected, having a fantastic freshman season. She was on the U.S. Women's U18 team last summer, so has gotten a lot of experience with USA basketball already. This is the second free throw. Mississippi State got to make those free throws. 8 of 13 today. O'Neal now with 22 points. It's her 6th 20-point game, and they've all come this season.
Well, you said you want a triple-double alert, and McGill, that gives her yet another assist. She's got 5. You see the screen right here. Good pick-and-roll action. Forces Richardson to have to step up. Nice lob over the top for O'Neal.
22 points today for Miara O'Neal, 4 rebounds. You mentioned the triple-double. Watch McGill right now. 13 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. Finds Reynolds with that pass, and then Reynolds is fouled. That was a tough pass to make.
That was a super tough and a dangerous pass to make, but her and Reynolds on the same wavelength.
Second foul on McFall. And Layla Reynolds will go to the free throw line. They played Navy in the non-conference portion of the season this year. Her family actually owns a breakfast spot in Annapolis, so the team got to go to Layla's family restaurant.
I thought you said you were gonna, in my brain, I thought you were gonna lead us into like you stopped through and had some breakfast or something, but that could be on your next stop whenever you go to Annapolis.
Well, maybe if we get Maryland in the NCAA tournament, I'll do that. Reynolds puts in the free throw. Gators up by 20, third quarter. Winner moves on to face Oklahoma tomorrow. Ladozie. And the D came across, Reynolds came across. And the foul is actually going to be on O'Neal.
A little bit too much body down low. I think you're going to start to see the game slow down if both teams rather start forcing the ball into the paint.
Just the first foul on O'Neal. Ladozie makes the first free throw. Ladozie's had 14 double-doubles this season. Looks good on both those free throws. Fane will return to the Bulldog lineup and replace Crisp. Full court pressure here by Mississippi State. McGill gets through it.
And McGill makes it look so easy. You see right there, open space, Takes it in, spin move with the finish.
Hello, Liv.
Hello, Liv.
We see you.
We'll take this wide open. Francis knows she can't foul, so she has to let her go. But you rely on the background, or you rely on your back end players to step up.
Yeah, it was Fane that got her. McGill back at the free throw line. Misses the free throw. Florida's done a good job at the free throw line today overall. 18 of 21.
Well, Florida just done, I mean, they came out right off the bat. They were the aggressor. They attacked Mississippi State, made everything hard early on, and then just kept rolling.
Substitutions come in. Ezekiel along with Godfrey for the Gators. And McFall returns for Mississippi State. Francis going to work. Can't finish. McGill. Watch out. Liv McGill.
All right, so I think Liv McGill is trying to, not trying, she is putting on a show for us.
Francis shot is blocked. McGill drifts to the left side of the floor. Heat check. Gators up 22 right now.
And one thing you know is you can't take your foot off the gas. Mississippi State, this is a team that can get hot fast.
And Wadozie is fouled. Reynolds gets called for the foul. And for Reynolds, that'll be her fourth foul.
You can see the emphasis, though, for Mississippi State, trying to slow down the pace now and really looking at getting the ball to the basket. You stop the clock every single time you get an opportunity to shoot free throws. You just got to knock down the free throws.
Mississippi State now 10 of 16 from the free throw line. Wadozie had been perfect until that miss. She was 4 for her first 4. Makes the second. Under 2 minutes to play in the third quarter.
And every single possession matters. Offense, defense, offense, defense. Florida trying to get a good look.
Francis guarding McGill. Uh-oh. And that is going to foul out Madison Francis with 1:34 to play in the third quarter. So Francis finishes with 9 points, 3 rebounds, and just was never able to get in her flow today because of the foul trouble.
Yeah, that was a hard foul, too. I mean, coming off the screen, McGill slows it down, and their feet just tangle a bit.
Got tripped. And McGill has been so impressive today. Now 18 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. A fun day today in the crowd. It started out with Kids Day.
But it's been good to see. We had a lot of fans in the house. A lot of people looking at this game, Mississippi State versus Florida.
Good opening day crowd here at Greenville. This city supports this event so well. McGill now has the last 6 Florida points as we approach the final minute of the quarter. Prater with the offensive rebound and a timeout taken by Mississippi State. Sam Purcell could, since she was in a little bit of trouble, takes the timeout.
Well, Liv McGill has been all in tonight, and you look at her, emotional all day long. Come and get it. Liv McGill.
Ball tournament, And the big three today for Florida, Liv McGill, Miara O'Neal, and Layla Reynolds have outscored Mississippi State by 3 points.
Well, they came out on fire, the three of them attacking the basket, taking what the defense gave them. You didn't really see anybody get out of rhythm, but Liv McGill runs the train. She's the beginning, she's the spark plug, and then everybody else plays off of her.
McGill, such a special player, first team All-SEC. And I mentioned she's one of the finalists for the Nancy Lieberman Point Guard Award. She wasn't even on the initial list this season.
Which is crazy, but you know what? It's also, it's the fire. It gives you motivation, and not necessarily like you're trying to get or win awards, but just the opportunity. And the threes continue.
Weathersby knocks that one down. That is her second of the game. Weathersby, 6 points off the bench. Had 6 points against Georgia Sunday as well. Gators have scored 12 of the last 15 points. Prater trying to end that streak with Dozie gets the rebound. And a foul, so Mississippi State will go to the free throw line and stop the clock here at the end of the third quarter.
Ezekiel gets called for that foul. Trying to move her feet and get in front of Prater.
Third foul on Ezekiel. And Prater will go to the free throw line. Prater played so well in spurts this season for Mississippi State. She had a streak of 5 double-doubles in a row earlier this year. And normally an 84% free throw shooter, went 1 of 2 on that trip.
It's interesting watching Mississippi State.
Shot clock is off. This could be the final possession of the third quarter. And a foul on McFall, trying to defend McGill.
Well, that was an interesting call anyway, because normally you're not allowed to leave your hand on the defender as you're defending them. You have to touch and bring it back. But Prater had her hand on McGill's hip pretty much the whole time, so that's an easy call to make as McGill just sweeps under.
This will be the 10th and 11th free throws for McGill.
Take another look at it, but you see her hand right there, and normally you're not allowed to do that, so that's an easy call to make as McGill tries to bring it to the left side. Got to give McGill 20 points so far. We've still got another 10 minutes for the fourth quarter.
Final possession of the third quarter. McFall doesn't get the three to go down. And Florida holds Mississippi State scoreless for the last 5.5 minutes of that quarter. The big three for the Gators, and then some players off the bench contributing. Show us something, Liv.
In the
SEC tournament, Shaq's career high 16 points when he played for LSU. And Miara today having a fantastic day, 22 points, 4 rebounds. Reynolds off the dribble. Layla Reynolds now with 9 points. She's the third member of the big three for the Gators.
Reynolds so good when she drives. It doesn't matter left hand, right hand, but when she finds that open gap, she's good.
Final quarter for Mississippi State to try to get back and get the win. Again, Charlie Cream says this is a must-win game for Mississippi State. Selection Sunday, a week from this Sunday. Be quite a wait. Weathersby hit a couple of threes today, misses that one. Florida has outscored Mississippi State in every quarter. McFall, good take, doesn't get the finish.
A little bit too hard, trying to move too fast.
Gators just working it around the perimeter.
That's interesting because when you don't have a Liv McGill in there to force the play and taking the ball, the drive in, you're just moving the ball around the wing.
McGill goes to the scores table. She'll check in at the next dead ball. And Madison Francis, the star for Mississippi State, fouled out in the third quarter.
That was a good shot right there. Ball just not able to fall, unfortunately, for Mississippi State. That's kind of been the story of the afternoon. They're getting good looks, they're getting good opportunities, but just not able to finish.
Well, that was the issue they had coming in. Piatti travels. Sam Purcell said they just need to make shots. And the shots have not been falling, but let's give the Gators a lot of credit for that today as well, as McGill checks back in.
You definitely give them a lot of credit, but it starts from the beginning of the game. I just feel like Florida came in and said that they were the aggressive, but offense will flow. Defense is where you actually have to like put effort and energy in, and Florida jumped on Mississippi State right from the get-go.
Yeah, I mean, just to back you up, I mean, what did we do when we came back from halftime? We featured, you know, Florida exposing that Mississippi State defense.
Sometimes some of it is the communication. Mississippi State trying a couple of different defenses. They've done the man-to-man. They've done 3-2. Right now they're dropped in a 2-3 zone, but a lot of gaps. And when you're in zone, although it's easier as far as just players sitting, you have to make sure you're communicating.
Kelly Ray Finley taking a timeout here. There'll be 12 seconds on the shot clock when we come back to Greenville. March Madness, where the magic happens. Tennessee, the all-time leader in SEC tournament titles. South Carolina closing that gap, though.
South Carolina, 9 tournament championships out of the last 11.
South Carolina, the #1 seed for the 5th straight year of this tournament, looking to win their 4th straight SEC tournament in a year that has just been, as Steffi Sorensen said on the set, brutal.
It's been brutal. I feel like the SEC overall, I mean, they just take each other out.
Oh, nice move by Piatti, finishing with the left.
Piatti just, like when she makes a move, it just looks so simple. She's smooth. She doesn't do anything uncharacteristic of what and she played within her game.
With Dozie answers on the other end. Piatti, number 14 for Florida. She's considered one of the top front court players coming out of Europe. Had some pro experience in Italy. McGill. McGill gets it back. Shot clock a factor now. Down to 5, 4. Godfrey launches. Good!
All of that was the patience of this Florida offense. You called it the shot clock winding down. That's how long it took for them to get a shot, and a good shot.
Godfrey's only her 5th made 3 of the season. Florida as a team has made 8 3-pointers today. 4 of those by Miara O'Neal. Shot clock again under 10. McGill with the pull-up. And the rebound taken by King.
I don't know if that last timeout, Kelly Ray Finley really talked to the team about just being patient in the offense and letting things come to you.
Also a chance to really get everybody on the same page and lock in to try to finish this.
I definitely.
Godfrey's 5th made 3 of the season right here.
Yeah, take a look. See the defense. Everybody shifted over. Godfrey wide open in the matchup.
Ezekiel committed her 4th foul. And she'll be taken out of the game. O'Neal heading back to the locker room with 4:59 to play. Hope everything's okay with Miara. She's certainly having an incredible game today. O'Neal 22 points, 4 rebounds, including 4 made threes. So Richardson on the free throw line now. Richardson trying to get into double figures.
Well, we were excited about this matchup coming in just because both teams in pivotal situations as far as tournament implications, right? And I think from a player perspective, when I would get revved up for games like this because it's like, okay, all in, you put everything on the line, don't leave anything back. And you know, you look at Florida, that's what they did. They came in, they put everything on the line, and every player showed up to play.
McGill, instead of leading the break, he's going to eat up a little time. Yitch. And a foul on the rebound.
I think that's going to be on Reynolds.
It's actually on Dukic. So first foul on her. Reynolds right now is playing with 4 fouls, so that was a break for Florida. Keep her in the game. Mississippi State is under 5 minutes to try to get this turned around. McFall shoots a 3. That's one step in the right direction.
It definitely is, and that's what we're used to seeing from McFall. To get those cross-court passes, and even watching the flow of the ball, it looks like it was going straight in.
Again, the NCAA tournament on the line for Mississippi State. That's according to Charlie Cream. Shot clock down to 8 and a turnover as McGill stepped out of bounds.
Right play. The right thought, obviously, yep, you see the foot, the right foot lands out, but that was the right play. She was trying to get a good look for her teammate.
I mean, she can thread the needle. You see her make passes, you just shake your head. Another 3. Uh-oh. Chris hits the 3. And the Bulldogs showing a little bark right now. Yitch lost it on the way to the bucket.
And that's going to be another turnover by Florida.
And Davi Mendoudi checking in for the first time for Florida. The sophomore from Spain. Mendoudi, number 12 in white, coming in for the first time this afternoon.
I think Layla Reynolds checked herself out, Coach. They were looking at who's supposed to stay on the floor.
Mississippi State on a 6-0 run right now. Wadozie rejected by McGill, but right to Crisp. Offensive rebound and a foul, but it will send Guillet to the free throw line.
And that's going to be 5 fouls as well for Ezekiel.
So Gift Ezekiel will foul out of the game. Ezekiel 4 points and 2 rebounds today.
I like the way Ezekiel played, though. She was very impactful in the minute that she did. She played the 4, the 5, a little bit of the 3. Had to play some big defense on Mississippi State. Just the rotation by Florida, I think they did a good job defensively of really communicating. We saw the lapses for Mississippi State, but Florida seemed like they were locked in and knew the game plan and followed it.
It's an 8-0 run right now by Mississippi State. Those were the first 2 free throws of the season for Guillet. And by the way, Miara O'Neal is coming back to the Florida bench. Saw her leave a second ago. Dzeko catches the entry pass, buries the jumper. And that ends an 8-0 run by the Bulldogs. Up to Florida, Guillet. Mississippi State making a push.
Here we go, more of that by Mississippi State. Continue to attack, but they got to speed up Florida, this Florida team, because they can't let them use the shot clock.
McGill on the drive, buries the jumper. Big bucket for McGill. Guillet. And Guillet right now is having her best game as a Bulldog.
You can tell she's relieved too, and don't look at the score, just play the game.
A timeout taken by Florida as Guillet has come in and made her presence felt today. Guillet, again, a French player, is really just learning the Division I level of basketball. 7 points off the bench, hasn't missed a shot, and a timeout taken by Florida.
7 points in 8 minutes. Not a bad stat line. 2 for 2, 1 for 1 from the three-point line. Got a rebound, got an assist. No turnovers, so stepped in and really done a good job.
Well, Tamika, this is going to end the day session when this one's over, but tonight we have Auburn and Texas A&M at 6, and then Alabama, Missouri at 8:30 Eastern.
That's going to be 2 interesting games. I know what I love to do, I go back, I get my stuff together for the next day, and then settle in, get a little bit of dinner and settle in to watch the afternoon or the night games.
Tiffany Green, Carolyn Peck will be with you tonight to take you through those 2 games. Texas A&M, one of the big stories in the SEC with their surge in the late part of the regular season. DeZecco misses the shot. And one official had a jump ball. One official may be calling a foul. Let's see how they sort it out.
That's a hard fall by Gray.
And it is going to be a foul, and it'll be on DeZecco. And that's her 4th, but she'll come out of the game, and Sarah Dang will replace her. DeZecco, there's not a player Kelly Ray Finley is higher on, just a high character person on and off the floor. A real servant leader for this Gator team.
I kind of feel like you say that, but you kind of go down the line of all the players and what they, you don't necessarily sacrifice, because it's not a sacrifice for your team when you're playing for your teammates. But the thing that you have to do to make a team work, and it's fun to listen to the young Florida team. Kelly Ray, we had a chance to talk to her yesterday, and you could tell she kept saying, we're young. I'm like, this is probably the most locked in I've seen you in a long time, especially at the SEC tournament. She said, you know, with this team, I have to set the tone.
King of the free throw line. She was fouled by Dang. And a lane violation on Florida is going to give King one more free throw here. And King makes the most of it. Mississippi State now has scored on their last 5 possessions, but is it too much too late? Under 2 minutes to play. Gators have controlled this game from the onset.
I don't think it's ever too much too late, but you have to force the action on the defensive end.
McGill misses the jumper. Fane with a rebound. Need a bucket, need it fast. Good D. However, Gray got loose, couldn't finish, and a foul on the rebound. And that foul's on Gray.
That's an unfortunate look. She got a wide open layup, not able to finish, and then gets called for the foul, trying to go after an offensive rebound. That's her 2nd foul.
McGill. That's about as slow as Liv McGill brings it up the floor.
Ever.
Trying to hang on here, and the Gators will move on to face Oklahoma tomorrow. Piatti with the bucket and a timeout so that they can get Dukic in the game. Dukic will replace Liv McGill, and so McGill will head to the bench. A fantastic afternoon. 22 points, 10 assists, and 7 rebounds. Couldn't we give her 3 more rebounds, keep her in there for a final minute?
I say no, because now you got to get ready for the next game. Most important thing as you go through tournament time, and especially SEC tournament time, this is something that when we talked to Coach Brooks about it, it's like you want to come out healthy at the end of the day.
A reminder still to come at 6 Eastern. Texas A&M and Auburn will kick off the night session. Gray's at the free throw line. Batted out to Duckich. So McGill had 22 points. O'Neal today with 22 points as well.
And that's going to be a foul on Gray. That's going to be her third foul.
Third foul. It's the fourth time this season that McGill and O'Neal have both had 20 or more points in a game. That's tied for the most by any duo in the SEC this season. And a foul with 28.8 seconds left. Jimenez gets called for the foul.
Jimenez just got in the game. It'll be interesting to see as we watch her grow in the next couple of years, see what kind of growth she can have on the floor.
Dang at the free throw line, off the mark on that free throw. That's only her 9th free throw shot this season. Another Aussie. We've had an Aussie in every game so far today.
You like that?
Yeah, I do. Love the Aussies. Final 30 seconds. And Mississippi State just has to hope Charlie Cream is wrong. 3 big wins this season over Kentucky, Tennessee, and Georgia. But a tough end of the season, regular season for Mississippi State. They'll drop their last 5. And we'll see what the tournament thinks of their overall body of work when the selections come out a week from this Sunday.
Well, Mississippi State, they definitely have fought today. It's just the baskets have, the ball has not fallen for this team, but they have competed all 40 minutes.
So Florida will run out the clock, and they will secure their largest margin of victory in SEC tournament history. A surprising afternoon to me. We had Kentucky win by 30, and then we thought this one would be close, and it ends up being a Florida blowout.
Well, we thought it was, but Florida came out and they put the foot on the gas right from the beginning. Mississippi State not able to find their flow. So Florida will advance. So
Mississippi State will have to await their fate on Selection Sunday. The Gators are moving on to face Oklahoma tomorrow in the second afternoon game.
Well, I'm excited about both of these matchups tomorrow, but before we get to tomorrow, we still have tonight. Be some good games: Alabama, Missouri, Texas A&M versus Auburn.
Miara O'Neal, 22 points. Liv McGill, 22 points. And the Gators win by 18 today. Our final score, 86-68. This closes out the day session. For Tamika Catchings, I'm Sam Gore. Up next, SEC Now. And they'll be back at 5:30 from the studio, and then also at 6 for that game we mentioned, Auburn and Texas A&M. So good afternoon from Greenville, South Carolina.